This week on Channel 8 News, we'll be highlighting some of the best packs from each of our reporters from this entire semester.
That's right, Courtney. With this being the last episode of the semester, you don't want to miss this. Your Channel 8 News starts right now. Thanks for tuning in to Channel 8 News. I'm Alexis Cooner.
And I'm Courtney Rowe.
To kick off our special highlights episode, we're throwing it back to week 3 with Kenzie Denning's story on the Student Veterans Association. On September 22nd of this year, the Student Veterans Association held an event outside the J.W. Jones Student Union to promote and show their support for military students and veterans here on campus.
Kenzie sat down with the Student Veterans Association coordinator, Thomas Goldazin, and the association's secretary and treasurer, Courtney Anderson, to learn more about this event. Let's take a look.
On Wednesday, September 22nd, the Student Veterans Association here on campus hosted Home of the Brave. The organization recognizes Northwest service members and veterans who are in need of the support to help their transition from military service to civilian life. I sat down with Thomas Goldzine, who is the coordinator for this event.
Well, the process all started with me just talking to my advisor, Monica, in her office, and it just came to me as a veteran myself. You know, one thing that really hits home is our 22 veteran suicides a day. So I figured, being Mental Health Awareness Month, it'd be a great idea to set up an event to bring mental health awareness, suicide prevention, as well as bring it to light the 22 veteran suicides a day. So with that, I started all the planning process, spoke with my executive board and got the ball rolling with that, and it's turned into a big deal, bigger than I thought it was going to. The SVA got its name from our very first advisor, Brady Willis, used to be a transfer advisor, also an Army veteran himself. He actually gave me the idea my first semester here, spring of 2020, right before COVID hit, that Student Veterans of America, which is a national headquarters for student veterans. So I looked more into them and found out we could become a chapter, and I set out to do that. It also just happened to be a class project that I was working on as well, so it literally came to fruition and became a reality for me.
After talking with Thomas, I talked with another organizer, Courtney Andreessen, who is the secretary and treasurer for the organization.
This event was first thought of by our president, TJ. We all immediately got really excited about it because we want to do anything we can to get involved within the community and kind of get our name out there, but also raise awareness to this issue.
The Student Veterans Association held the Home of the Brave event in hoping to raise awareness for the veterans who couldn't keep the fight in them to get through the transition from their service to civilian life. This has been Kenzie Denning with Channel 8 News.
Thanks, Kenzie. When we come back, we'll be taking a look at Courtney's Week 9 pack in the trenches with John Coffey and Rich Wright, followed by Lauren's coverage of the Homecoming Variety Show. Don't go away. Welcome back to Channel 8 News. I'm Alexis Cooner.
And I'm Courtney Rowe.
Back on Week 9, my lovely co-host, Courtney, covered In the Trenches, which is a newer radio show on KXTV, KNWT, that talks about all things related to Bearcat football.
That's right, Alexis. I actually got the chance to sit down with the show's co-hosts, General Manager John Coffey and Head Football Coach Rich Wright, just to learn a little bit more about the origins of the show. Every Thursday night at A&G right off of the square in Maryville, head football coach Rich Wright and voice of the Bearcats John Coffey can be found in the back corner broadcasting their show, In the Trenches, live to the KXCV KRNW station.
We started this up the third week of the season, and the meat of the show is just having a little bit of fun, learning a little bit more about the players that are our guests, talk to them, and of course talk to Rich about some things football related, but also personal related, some things that he does that people may not necessarily know about. So
we wanted to have an opportunity where we talked about something beyond just football. It has a little bit of a football basis, but it's more about the stories that kind of make up what Bearcat football is.
With different guests each week, Coach Wright and Mr. Coffey are able to give listeners the inside look at different aspects of Bearcat football.
You know, I get interviewed a lot, and so it's having other people be able to get on the radio and understand what it's like to field questions, and whether it be my players or my wife or whomever else they interview in a given week. It's just sitting down and reflecting back on old times and old memories.
I think it was one of my favorite shows was just tonight. We had Rich's wife Sarah on and surprised him at he didn't know if she was going to be on the show until about a minute before we went on. So that was a lot of fun, and just to have them talk about how they met and what it takes to kind of juggle family life with the job as a head football coach.
In the Trenches not only gives listeners a chance to learn more about the team, but it also gives Coach Wright and the guests a chance to reflect back on their favorite Northwest memories throughout the years.
It's funny, I think everybody thinks the thing that we remember is the scores and the outcomes. What it really is the journey and what happened while we were going through it. And that's the part that's special.
All right, that's been the end of the Trenches with the head coach of the Bearcat football team, Rich Wright, here on KXCV KRNW.
This year's homecoming was full of events for students, faculty, and the community to enjoy. In fact, one of the biggest events that took place during the Homecoming Week's festivities was the annual Northwest Homecoming Variety Show.
Lauren Adams was able to sit down in the executive chair for Royalty and Variety Show and a participant of the event. Lauren Adams has more on the story.
The Homecoming Variety Show was held at Northwest Missouri State University on Friday, October 29th to showcase a variety of acts from different students. Riley Getters, the executive chair for Royalty and Variety Show, played a large role in carrying on this traditional event.
The Homecoming Variety Show is a chance for students to showcase their different skits or special talents for the entire university and all the alumni that come back to watch the show. It just gives them a chance to show their Bearcat pride and another competition, because we all love competition and homecoming. My favorite part about the variety show is just the amount of students that we get to participate in the variety show. If you come to the show, you're going to see all the happy faces on stage, and also just all of the family, students, and alumni that come to support these awesome students.
One of the organizations that participated in the show was Sigma Sigma Sigma, a sorority on campus. Jennifer Dayharsh, a member of the sorority, danced in a skit with the Sigma Phi Epsilon fraternity.
I chose to be in the variety show because in Tri Sigma we're required to have 45 hours of homecoming hours. And instead of going to just float, I wanted to do something a little bit different. And I'm a dancer, so I like being on stage performing. And so this was probably the best fit for me. And it got me out of my comfort zone because I've never done theater before. We started about a month ago. We started practicing at SIGEP. We went through lines, and then we just started to meet up multiple times a week. We learned to dance for part of it, so that took a while. But we all have partners and stuff, so it's super fun.
At the end of the show, Homecoming King Ryan Shervington and Queen Annie Punt were crowned. This is a tradition that the Homecoming Committee hopes will continue for many years to come. For the stories that matter to you, this has been Lauren Adams with KNWT Channel 8 News.
Thanks, Lauren. When we come back, we'll be highlighting Chase's Community Blood Drive as well as Uhoman April Moltak's Grocery Night Bingo. Stay tuned for more. Welcome back to Channel 8 News. I'm Courtney Rowe.
And I'm Alexis Kunert.
As we've already stated, this year's homecoming consisted of many different events for students, faculty, and the Northwest community. In fact, one of the fan-favorite events that the Student Activities Council puts on every year is Grocery Bingo.
Over $10,000 was spent on groceries in order to prepare for the event. And our reporter Homan was able to sit down with the director of late night and weekend programming to hear all about it. Let's take a look.
The campus favorite grocery bingo, hosted by the Students Activities Council, happened on Thursday, the 28th of October at the Rec Center. Members of SAC and officers of the University Police Department were present to help coordinate the event. Lots of groceries were available for grabs, and students attended in their numbers for a chance to win a free bag of groceries. In the spirit of Halloween and homecoming, students dressed in different costumes, and lucky participants who had their numbers called made their way to the grocery table to select items of their choice. Director of Late Night and Weekend Programming, Natalia Martinez, was excited with the turnout and shared the process SAC went through in preparation for the event.
Honestly, I was really nervous, but I'm super excited to see something that I've only visualized in my head come to life. What we did is we looked at the past events that we had, past grocery bingos. We kind of analyzed that, and we kind of edited upon there. Because previous year, or last year, it was COVID mitigations, so that kind of restricted it, but this year is going to be a lot more people. So we're like, okay, we need to double this event and make it bigger than it was last year. We created partnerships with UPD, Green Dot and Wellness. We had Student Rec Center here, and we had Red Bull Girl come over here as well. And then we even partnered up with Hy-Vee, and they really helped us a lot. And I'm so excited for all of our students to eat our amazing groceries that I made the list of.
For the stories that matter to you, I have been Uhuman April Molto.
Thanks, Uhoman. The Northwest Student Senate teamed up with the Community Blood Center to help boost blood supplies in Northwest Missouri.
The blood drive took place to help with the shortage of blood that was caused by COVID-19. And blood banks are still trying to reach their quotas on blood donations to help save the lives of others. Chase Chambers has more on the story, so let's take a look.
Student Senate had their fall blood drive October 26th to the 28th. in the Tower View Room on the 3rd floor of the Union to donate to the community blood drive. This year's event is back after COVID-19 canceled last year. Joseph Etheridge, the Civic Service Chair for Student, talks on preparation for this event.
Typically we reach our goals. Our goals are typically set at 70 to 80, and those are need-based goals. But we typically reach our goals, but today we had 26 people sign up for the blood drive, but we're also accepting walk-ins, so we're hoping to see a good turnout by the end of the day.
I also spoke with Civic Service Co-Chair Lumden Fadaki on his role in this year's blood drive and what it meant for him to see people saving lives through this blood drive.
My chairperson told me a little bit about what happened last year and how they were unable to get blood due to COVID-19. So this year we're just trying to do as best as we can to get blood donated, and also they're running short of it, so that's why we're just trying to do as best as we can to get people involved. It means a lot to our university, to the community as well, because being able to donate blood, you never know how many people you're going to save, but it's also giving those people who need the blood an opportunity to live or another chance, so it means a lot.
Student Senate holds 3 blood drives throughout the school year, one in the fall, one in the winter scheduled for February 16th and 17th, one in the spring scheduled for April 20th through the 21st. If you would like to donate, keep an eye out for the Student Senate social media and also the university calendar for specifics on this event. For stories that matter to you the most, I'm Chase Chambers with KNWT Channel 8.
Thanks, Chase. Well, that's all the time we have here for Channel 8 News. Thank you all for tuning in and supporting us throughout this entire semester.
Yes, thank you so much. And with that being said, we want to remind all of our viewers to be diligent and safe for the holidays. For the stories that matter to you, be sure to tune in every Monday through Thursday at 6 p.m. right here at KNWT Channel 8.
Or you can find us on our YouTube page at KNWT TV. From all of us here at Channel 8 News, I'm Alexis Kunert.
And I'm Courtney Rowe.
And have a great night and happy holidays.